Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's great.
Okay, this is wild. Many fans felt it when Caitlin Clark's injury sent the WNBA All-Star Game spiraling into a financial death trap. But what if I told you that initial shockwave was just the beginning of a multi-million-dollar catastrophe? Because here's the kicker. While everyone was focused on the chaos in Indianapolis, a much bigger, much riskier story was brewing in the background. WNBA players are actually being aggressively poached by European leagues directly because of this Clark situation, and it looks like a full-scale exodus is about to begin. We're connecting the dots on a story today that the league office really hopes you don't hear. How the WNBA's own instability is now literally luring its best players to Europe for higher pay and more recognition. If you want the real story behind the headlines, hit that like button. It helps us cut through the noise and know we're on the right track. So let's set the scene, because you can't understand why players are looking for an exit without grasping the sheer magnitude of the disaster that just exposed the league's true vulnerability. We're not talking about a few reconsidering admirers. This was a financial vote of no confidence in Caitlin Clark's absence, leading to a full-blown market meltdown. And get this, the numbers are absolutely staggering. The moment Clark officially announced she was taking a break and skipping the All-Star festivities, ticket prices plummeted a shocking 48% from $121 to just $64 in a matter of hours. Think about that. The previous average ticket price for these games was $222, the highest in WNBA All-Star history, and suddenly teams couldn't even give them away. Overnight, a massive chunk of the $10 million in economic impact the weekend was expected to bring to Indianapolis just vanished. What this tragedy starkly showed in the most painful financial terms possible is that the league, perhaps unwittingly, built its entire expansion strategy around a single point of failure. And here's the crazy part, that sole vulnerability is now injured, completely overburdened, and starting to malfunction. With opportunistic predators lurking across the Atlantic, that, my friends, is blood in the water. But wait, this isn't just a financial story. The real question is, why did the money disappear? It vanished because the league's most prized possession, its golden goose, was run into the ground. And this is the moment every other WNBA player started listening very intently. This isn't just a fluke accident. Caitlin Clark has already missed 11 games this season due to 4 separate muscle issues. Our deep search file confirmed it, 4 of them. This is the same player who famously played every single game throughout her entire college career at Iowa and her 2024 rookie season. She was an absolute iron woman. So what changed?
Seeing firsthand what Caitlin Clark is worth to this league. Especially.
So, on social media, fans and commentators are absolutely ripping into the Indiana Fever's organization, with many people believing the team's medical staff and injury protocols are appallingly subpar, especially when you compare them to NBA standards. Even Clark's coach, Stephanie White, has talked about the insane physical toll, saying the 40 minutes of physicality she experiences makes you load, explode, accelerate, and decelerate completely differently. And get this, when the league's most important player goes from being literally unbeatable to constantly injured in less than a season, all the other players pay attention. They see a system that utterly failed to protect its most valuable asset, and they start asking themselves a pretty terrifyingly simple question. If they'll let it happen to her, what's stopping it from happening to me? And wouldn't you know it, opportunistic predators from around the world have been anticipating this exact panic and crisis of confidence. Now, while the core narrative is absolutely reported by credible industry sources, we're about to connect some dots that venture a bit into the realm of hearsay, but it's crucial. Our deep search file has a startling report. It states that European basketball leagues are now actively poaching American players by explicitly citing the WNBA's unpredictability and, yes, these precise injury management issues. They watched the Clark tragedy unfold, saw the players' frustration, and now they are acting. So, let's dive into what this catastrophic European sales pitch actually sounds like. First, they obviously go for the money. Reports suggest Premier European League bids can sometimes exceed WNBA compensation, though that's not always the case. Higher pay is a no-brainer way to attract athletes who feel underpaid and unappreciated back home. It's the hook that gets their agent to answer the phone, but it's not the knockout blow. The real knockout punch, the part of the pitch that's currently landing with terrifying accuracy, has nothing to do do with money. It's the promise of everything the WNBA isn't currently providing: stability, respect for one's profession, and career security. The original documents are crystal clear. American athletes are being sold on improved job security and professional treatment by these European leagues. Think about it from a player's perspective. You just watched the league's top player go through constant physical therapy. You've seen the social media outrage and reports questioning her team's medical staff standards, and the league itself looks weak and totally disjointed.
Yeah, pay attention. Pay attention. We saw the viewership drop, ticket sales dropping, attendance dropping.
Then right in the middle of all that uncertainty, a call comes in from a Spanish Liga Femenina or EuroLeague team, and they're not just offering a contract, they're offering peace of mind. They're promising top-tier medical care and professional standards designed to protect your health and advance your career, which, let's be real, sounds incredibly alluring when your own league's business strategy seems to be to just run its stars into the ground and hope for the best. They are absolutely exploiting the WNBA's biggest weakness. But get this, the league is actually fueling that fire with its own internal conflicts, specifically the total chaos swirling around the collective bargaining agreement, or CBA. And this is where the narrative takes a truly dark turn, because it points to terrible management from more than just one team. This league-wide collapse of confidence between the players and the front office couldn't have come at a worse possible time. The current CBA is set to expire on October 31, 2025, and these negotiations are rapidly turning into a very public dispute. In fact, at that same All-Star game that was financially hemorrhaging, the players sent a powerful, undeniable message. As they warmed up on the court, they wore black shirts emblazoned with a vivid white slogan, ON-US Money. Give it to. That wasn't some subtle hint, that was an impolite, in-your-face public declaration of war, and that frustration is being loudly echoed by the union's leadership. Breanna Stewart, the WNBA vice president and one of the league's biggest names, brashly called a recent CBA meeting a missed opportunity, and even more bluntly, Angel Reed declared, "We won't stop until we get what we want."
Tickets prices dropped because people quit buying the damn tickets. People was asking for refunds for the damn tickets. So you want to know what they had to do? Damn near give them away, bro.
So, on one side, players share a common profound anger and disdain, but on the other, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is telling the media that discussions are beneficial and productive. This fertile ground between the commissioner's carefully crafted rhetoric and the players' harsh reality is precisely where European recruiters are sowing their seeds, because it validates their entire sales pitch. They're basically asking a player, "We're waiting to grant you respect right now, so why even bother battling for it from a league that doesn't?" And here's the kicker, it's no longer just role players looking for a bigger contract who are in danger. The potential cascading effect here could actually impact the league's top name. Many elite American players, including former MVPs, have historically played overseas during the WNBA offseason, but the existential concern now is that this toxic environment at home might convince them to avoid it entirely. Imagine this, when you see your own league seemingly ignoring exceptional talents like Asia Wilson in favor of a one-sided obsession with Clark, the idea of being the undisputed star of a European team must be unbelievably enticing. And if that domino falls, if a player of that quality makes the decision to leave for good, the WNBA would be severely, perhaps fatally wounded. This is far more than just losing one player, it's about how the league is perceived on a global scale. Our source files make it abundantly clear, a successful European poaching strategy would drastically harm the WNBA's marketability and competitive quality. Think about it, the league loses its best players, the on-court product suffers, viewership keeps declining, sponsors start to pull out, and those same players are now actively promoting a rival league as international organizations pour money into marketing and broadcast infrastructure to position themselves as legitimate competitors. Every star the WNBA loses directly benefits its rivals, leading to a league that's a hollowed-out version of itself, no longer regarded as the top destination for women's basketball worldwide. The Caitlin Clark All-Star incident wasn't the disease itself, it was a symptom of the WNBA's much deeper internal issues, a toxic, strained relationship with its own union, an imprudent reliance on a single player, a growing crisis of faith in player health and safety, and public unrest. Right now, the league is in a desperate last-ditch attempt to beat the clock, needing to prevent an existential threat from the outside while addressing these fundamental problems from within. Poaching has already begun, and an exodus isn't just a possibility anymore, it's happening. Time is running out, and the truth is evolving. So I'm handing the probe over to you, the tail analysts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is the WNBA truly facing a major existential crisis because of this European threat? Or is the players' union just using this as a shrewd negotiating tactic to strengthen their position during the CBA talks? Tell me your theory. And hey, if you want to stay informed about this story and other plot lines the mainstream media won't touch, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications, because connecting the dots on the significant stories is what we do. Finally, if you believe other WNBA fans should know about the real battle being fought for the league's survival, please share this video with them. Keeping the conversation going is the only way to hear the full story. Oh, and by the way, Candace Parker gave us one of the most measured, kind, and sensible answers to date, a response that caused Caitlin Clark admirers worldwide to exclaim, "Exactly."